Okay, fine. Are you able to hear me, right? Can you please confirm? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, fine. So far we have covered data types, operators, conditions, right? And then right up to conditions we have covered so far. Today's topic is the one more important topics, methods. Right, methods. What are methods? Right, right. Methods are used to right. Methods are used to execute the right sequence of statements. Right, a sequence of statements. Right. Suppose if we have a one scenario, maybe all right. I want to add maybe I want to add two numbers. Right. I want to add two numbers. Then what I will do? Usually we will take a two variables. Right. Suppose into A, comma into B. Right. We will add it. Right. We will store it in a something sum equal to int A plus B. Okay. Then we will print out it. Right. So suppose after some lines of code, I want to add again to again I want to add the sum. I want to do the sum of two more variables. Right, two more variables. I want to add it again. Right, what I will do again? I will take into C, comma something, some variable, some value, and into something into D equal to some value. Again, I will do into sum equal to C plus D. Right, common action. Right, here what we are doing? We are doing the same action, but code is same only. But what is happening? Repeated code. That is duplicate code. Right. To avoid this, what we will do? We will create a methods. Right. Methods are used to execute the sequence of statements which are reusable. Right. By using methods, right, we can avoid the duplicate code. Right. Right. To avoid the duplicate code. Right. So that right. How to define first of all what is the syntax of the method? How you will create the method? Right. How you will create the method? What is the syntax of method? Right. We will have a what is the syntax of it? Access modifier, and then return type, return type, and then method name and parenthesis. We have to give the open and close parenthesis, and then arguments, arguments, and then body. We will have a body. Right. This is called a here we will write a body. Right. This is here. This is called a method header. Right. This is called a right, method header. Right. This is method header. And then it will have a method header and body. Method header will have a access modifier, a return type, method name, and then parentheses arguments. And then inside curly brackets, we will have a body. Inside it will have a body. Right. This is the syntax of the method. Then there are two types of methods usually we will have. Right. We will have a right. We will have one is the predefined methods. Predefined methods means someone will provide it. Right. JDK will provide, or if third party libraries will provide methods. Right. Already someone written methods. Those are all predefined methods. And then user defined methods. User defined methods. These are all we will create our own methods. User defined methods are our own methods. We can take a if we take a string class, right? We have seen a lot of methods in the string class. Those are all predefined methods, right, in the string class. Or if you take a math class, right, if you take a math class, we will have a math class also a lot of already predefined method. Those are all written by right Java people. JDK is provided. We are using it. User defined methods means we will create our own methods. Right, we will create our own methods by following the method rules. Right, then we will see quickly. We'll create one more package. Right click on the src folder, and then we can create the name of it methods. Right. Then we'll see first predefined methods. Right, predefined methods. Right. Predefined methods. We will see first one is the string class. Suppose if we take a string name equal to, right, we will have a, see, there are a lot of methods. We will have a name dot, right, length. These are all methods on, right. Class means string is a class. It will have all these methods. Right. These are all predefined methods of string class. Right. If you want to find the length of it, right, we have already seen these are all, right. String class have a lot of methods. These are all provided by JDK. We are reusing it. Right. If you control, if you mouse over, see what is the return type. Method will have a return type. Access modifier also. It's a green color means it is a public access modifier. Suppose we can also see control and click on it. Right. We can see the right is dot class file. Right. String dot class file. We can see it is the access modifier, return type, method name. Here there is no arguments. Right. It has some body. Right. Like this, all the methods. These are all predefined methods. Similarly, we will have a right math class. Right, math class will have a, here also we will have a lot of useful method. If you want to generate the random number, right, if you want to generate, right, see, calculate the max, right, like this, there are lot of methods. These are all static methods. We will see later, right. These are all static methods. We will see later what are static methods. With the class name directly, we can access the methods. Right. These are all predefined methods. Someone is provided, we are using it. Those methods. Now, if we see, we will see the user defined methods. Right. How to create user defined methods. Right. Method where we need to create. Right. That is also important. Right. How we will create method? Not inside main method. We cannot create another method inside a main method. Right, we have to create inside a class, outside a main method. Right, here, suppose I want to add two numbers. Right, public void. Right, public is the access modifier. We will learn later. If I don't want to return anything, void. Right, if I don't want to return right anything, void. Then method name. Method name will be add. Add. Right. Suppose I want to take the two integer values and print the sum of it. Print the sum of it. We will have a different types of methods, right? Uh, method with right method with without parameters. It will return right. Suppose if we take right, this is one method. Method without any, it will not take any parameters, but it will return the some value. Right, public. Sorry, here we are not returning right anything without return. Right, without return type. Method without parameters, without return type. That means we are creating access modifier void. If you are not returning means void. Void we must give. right? Some return type we have to give. If we are not returning anything means void, we have to give the void. Void means we are telling we are not returning anything from this method. We are not returning anything from this method. And method name, some understandable name. Right, we have to give some meaningful name. Right, here greet is the method. And then we are not taking empty parenthesis. Empty parenthesis. That means we are not empty parameters. That means without any parameters, without any return type. Simply it will print the message. That's it. Right. This is one type of, this is the first one. Right. This is the first one. Method without any parameters, without return type. Now we will see second one. Method with parameters without return type. Right. Method with parameters. Suppose if you see here also greet user. We are using the method name as the greet. Here we are taking a one argument. We are taking the one argument, but we are not returning anything. We are taking the input, but we are not sending any output. Right? With method with parameters. Method with any number of parameters. One parameter, two parameter, three parameter. We can have. Right? Here argument. Method with parameters. We are not returning anything. That's why void. Just simply we are printing whatever we are getting. Just simply we are printing. That's it. And then third one is method without parameters but return type. Right. Method without any parameters. Method without any parameters with return type. Right. Suppose get greet message. Simply we are returning the greet message. Right. Here parenthesis we are not taking anything. But we are returning what return we can return any type. We can return primitive types or array type or string type or object type. Anything we can return. Here what we are returning? String. So return type will be string. Suppose you are returning string, if you give integer, what it will say? It will say error because we are cannot convert a string to int because we are returning int string. So here in the method header should be string only. What is the type we are returning? It should be in the method header also same thing we have to return it. This is the third one, third type. One more type, method with parameters and with return type. Right, method with parameters with return type. Right. Here what? Here we are taking the input and also we are returning the some string here. Here we are returning some string. Right. Here we are taking the input and returning the output. Right. We have to use the return statement to return anything, either primitive data type or string or arrays or object. We have to use the return to return anything. Right. These are the four types of methods we will have. Right. Method with parameters without return type. Right. Method with parameters without return type. Right. Method with parameters without parameters with return type. With parameters with only these two. Right. Play these two will play the role. Right. Arguments and then return type. Simple. Suppose if we take a right, I want to right. See one more we will see method with multiple. Right, we can take any number of parameters, but we can return only one type of only. Right, any type. We cannot return right multiple things. We cannot return multiple at a time. We have to return only one variable only. That is one data type only. We can return either it is a primitive or arrays or string or object. We can return only one thing. We cannot return multiple. But arguments we can take multiple. Arguments we can take it as a multiple. Here we are taking first name and last name and just we are preparing some message and returning it. Right. Then there is a one more new feature will be there. That new feature that is it is called intelligence. Right. Three dots. If you give what is three dots means it is like a string array. It is simply like a string array. For that string array, we can also write like this. We can write it three dots, string comma three dots. That is just simply we are printing here. Nothing we are doing. Right. Just we are printing. Here we have taken a string builder. Right. We will learn later this thing. Just here we will print it simply. Right. We can take a void. Just print the message. That's it. Right. Okay. No confusion. Right. Three dots means it is like a string array. We can pass the array and we can iterate. How to iterate the array, string array or integer array? We can use the for each loop. Right. We can take the for each loop. Right. What is the type of the array? String. String, variable name, colon, array name. Right. We can iterate and print. This is one type of right argument. String, right? Array argument that is called. Right. Simply some right different types of examples we are seeing. Here see, right, just add method, it will take a two integer variables and it will return the int. Right, what is the a plus b will output integer, so we have to return the int type. Right, we have to return the int type of it. Right, we can also see this is like a say integer array. Right, this is integer array. If we take the integer array and sum it, all we are doing the sum of the integer array. Right. How to do the sum? We can iterate one by one value and we can take the one variable, sum it. Sum plus number. Right. This is the shortcut form, right? Sum equal to or sum equal to sum plus. Right. This is the normal form of it. This is the shortcut form. Plus equal to number. Right. Like this, we can have a right multiple things. We can have it. Right. This is the boolean. Right. If you want to return the boolean variable. Right. That means whether it is a even or is it even number or odd number. If it is a even number, it will return true. Otherwise, false. Right. Otherwise, false. Right. This is also a same thing. Right. We are taking the integer and then right based on the condition we are returning. If it is a right, if any number is odd, return false. Right. We are sending some array. In that array, if any number is odd, return false. Or if all are even numbers, right? All are even numbers in the array, we are returning true. If any one number is odd number, we are returning false. Once you return it, what will happen? We have learned last class. If you return it, what will happen? It will come out of this method. It will come out of this method. Right. If any one number is odd number, what will happen immediately? It will return false. That means come out of it. Right. How to call these methods? Right, these are all methods, but how to call these methods? If you want to call these methods, you have to create the object of the class. Right, that we will learn later. For object creation, how you will create? We have to create the class name and then some object name, any name we can give equal to new class name again. Right, then we can call all these methods by using the what is the object name methods names dot greet, right, like this. Right, we can call all methods. Right, these are all right like this. Object dot call the any method. Call any method. Object dot. That if you want to run it, right click, run as Java application. Right, it will execute. Right, what are the methods? Methods are used to execute the sequence of lines, right, to perform some action. Right, what is the advantage of the method? We can create a reusable methods. That means we can avoid the duplicate code. Right, maintenance will be very easy. Right, tomorrow if you want to update the code in the single place, we can update it. Right, in the single method, we can update it. Right, no need to. in different places. We cannot, no need to change it. Right? If you require any method, that means if you want to perform any action, same action again and again, right? Such action we will create as a method, and we can call those methods wherever we require, so that we can avoid the duplicate code. Maintenance will be very easy, right? It looks right very clean and neat, right? Our code also looks like neat, clean and neat. These are the about the methods, right? This is about the predefined methods and user defined methods. In the user defined methods we have different types, right? Those we can call methods by using the right object. We can create the object, we can call the methods of it, right? Anyone has any doubts so far? Anyone has anything? Right?
Sir,
Yeah.
hello. So I have some doubt. The method number 8 and 6
Okay. Six. Okay.
and 8.
Mm-hmm. This one, these two.
Uh-huh. 8 and 9. No, no, not 7. 6, 8, 9.
Okay. What is the six? Right. This is like a where args. We will call it as a where args in the Java file, JDK file. We have this feature. What is this
Okay.
where args means? Like a intelligence. We will call it as a three dots is a where args, like a array. You know how we will create integer array?
Okay. Oh, okay.
Simply that is a array.
Let's
Instead of this,
array.
right, we are giving three
Array.
dots. It is a
Yes.
string array.
Now I understand that. That's why I'm asking because without array, how to use for each loop
Right.
using three
That is
dots.
an array. That is an how to call this array. Suppose if I want to call this right, this call right. Suppose we will call it this one. Right.
Okay.
How to and right here we
Oh,
will call object dot. Suppose see, if you want to call this directly, we can comma separated values we can send. If you want to call that array, right, we can pass that right like this comma separated. Then it will, sorry, not this one, right? We have to call this one. Both are same, right? Let me change that name. Let me change this. Okay. Okay. Delete it. Okay. Let's suppose if you want to call this hmm, comma separated values, we can pass it as a comma separated values like this. Right. We can pass any number of comma separated. What it will do? It will just it will take it as a array and it will print it those values. Right. Simply. See, it will take it here. It will print it one by one value. Right. That is the advantage of this one. Suppose if it is an array, suppose if it is an array, right? Now we have to pass in a different format, right? We have to pass in. But if it is a three dots, we can pass like a comma separated. But if it is a array, right, we cannot pass like this. Suppose if it is an array, right, how you will pass? You have to create the array of it, right? A new, maybe we have to create a new string, but it will not take. Not applicable for the argument array. How to, I think I am creating wrong syntax is. Let me create string array, something names, right, new string of, we can pass this array like this. We have to create the array and then we have to pass it, or otherwise like this we have to directly pass like this. Right. But if it is a three dots, we can pass like a comma separated. That is the advantage of it. Right. Here also, this is also like an integer array. Here also we can pass a comma separated. What is the advantage of it here? Right. We can pass directly 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma like that. Any number we can pass. That is the advantage. Right. If you want, you don't know. Suppose sometimes you want to add. Right. I want to return the sum of it, but I don't know how many numbers I want to pass. Sometimes I will pass two arguments, three arguments, four arguments, five arguments. I don't know exactly. Right. Then in that case, we will go this syntax. So how many numbers you will pass? It will sum. We'll get the sum of it. Right. If we have such scenarios, we will go with these three dots. And also you asked something. This one.
Yeah, no, no, not 9. Or sir, inside the return, in the eighth method,
Mm-hmm.
hello, in the
Yeah.
method, you can use the for loop for the return some method. After return some means the satisfy the loop will outside the loop. The loop is not go through inside again.
Let's see how it will work. We are passing some numbers. Right. What it will do? Suppose I am passing 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5 like this. Right. I am passing to this method 1, 2, 3, 4. What it will do? Right. Initially sum is 0. Right. It will iterate one by one number. First 1 it will take. Right. Initially 0. 0 plus 1, 1. Sum become 1. Next it will take 2. Sum is 1. 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus, right? 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. 10 plus 5, 5. 15. Right. It will add all the numbers. It will add all the numbers and it will return sum. It will return the sum of it. Suppose if we call that method, how to call that method? Suppose methods dot add multiple numbers. Right. Suppose 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Right. What is the output of it? It will return the sum of it. Right. If you want the sum of the numbers, right, you can pass it. It will add all the numbers. It will return it. Finally, it will return it.
Okay, okay, sir. I got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine then. Anyone has
Uh,
any questions? Okay. Oops concept we will see tomorrow, but meanwhile we will see one more concept. We'll see Enum concept. Right. Enum. Right. What is the Enum? Right. If we want to create a group of constant variables, group of constants, right? If you want to create a group of constants, then we will go for a enum concept, right? Group of constants. Suppose, see here, Sunday, right? Enum, how to create? We can create inside a class, we can create, or we can create separately, right? We'll see separate one, right? Instead of like this, I will go in a different way. We'll go with the simple one. Suppose package, example. Okay. Then we'll create the class days, right? I want to maintain either days or months, right? Or whatever it group of constant. That means similar type of constant values. You want to maintain weekdays, or you want to maintain months, you want to maintain fruits, you want to maintain flowers, right? Group of similar values. Then we will go for a constants. Right here, suppose days. I want to maintain the days as a enum. Sorry, we have to create like a enum. Right, like this we can update like this, or right click create enum. There is a enum is also there. We can create give the name of the enum. Suppose months. Right, it will come as a enum. See top it is showing as a e. That means enum public enum class. Right, if you want to create like this. See, suppose, see, we can maintain, mm, not like this. We'll go with the simple one. It is becoming a only, only like this, not like this. Okay, January, February, March, April, right, May. So, right, similar type of constant. I want to define similar type of constant. Right, instead of creating multiple variables, right? Instead of creating multiple variables, we are creating as a we are creating as a enum class, right? Otherwise, what we have to do, we have to create it as a we have to create it as a constant. All right, how to create a constant means string, right? String Monday, string January, February, March, April, like that we have to create. That is the not good. That will not go, looks good. So instead of right like that, creating like that, we will go with a enum group of constants of similar type. Then we will go for enum. Suppose I want to refer somewhere, right? Where I want to refer switch case, right? Enum we can use it in a anywhere we can use. Right. Previously we want to see in the switch case. Right. Where we have used conditions. Right. Conditions switch. Right. We'll create one more switch with enum. Right. Switch with enum. Okay. Enum class. What enum class we have? Days. Right. We have a days. Right. Here what we are doing? Days dot Monday. We have created what is the enum name? Days. Days dot we are passing name here case, right, this one we are passing the today, right, this variable name, right, today is the enum type, right, enum type either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever enum we will pass, right, it will execute that piece of block, right, either we can pass integer or string, right, we have already seen in switch case how to pass the integer, how to pass the string. This is one more enum. We can also pass enum, right? If we have a group of constant like this, in the switch case also we can create a one enum. We can pass it. We can pass it, right? And also, if we want a more advanced ones, we can do it with enum, right? We can do it with enum. More advanced concepts also. Yes. Right. If you want to refer same thing, just write days dot Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like that. Suppose sometimes, right, I want to get Monday as a 1, Tuesday as a 2, Wednesday as a 3. Right. Sometimes I want to get as a integer. Right. Then we can define a constructor. We can have a constructor like this. We can pass any number of arguments. Right. We have to create a constructor like this. Right. Monday 1, Tuesday 2, right. Wednesday 3, right. Like this. Each one should have constructor. Otherwise, it will not allow. We can have with one argument, two argument, three argument, any number of arguments we can have it in the constructor. But here we have to create the constructor and we have to let it define this variable. We have to assign it. But we have to create a one variable, sorry, private variable or public variable, any variable. Just to take that variable and assign whatever that integer, right? Constructor. Inside a constructor, we are passing the integer. Then we have to assign it. Right. Whenever we want, suppose, Right, days dot suppose system dot out dot println days dot Monday dot what is the day number, or we will see Saturday. Okay, Saturday. All right, you can write it here. Right, sometimes if you want to pass the 6, I will pass the 4. I want to get the Thursday. Right, we can also do that. Right, we can also do that either way. If you want to pass the Monday, you want to get the number is very simple. But if you want to pass the number, I want to get the Thursday. If I pass the 4, I want to return Thursday. Right, then how we will do it? We have to write, suppose we will write public. Uh, we have to return by the string, right? Get a day, get a, okay, day name. Right, we have to pass the integer, suppose integer some number. Right, we have to pass this. Then we have to iterate one by one value, right? We have to check first value, right? Whatever we are passing, is it equal to 1, 2, 3, 4? Suppose we are passing 4, we have to return Thursday. So how to iterate it? How to iterate? Right, that is the important. Days dot values. Days dot values. It will return, right? Days dot values. It will return a, right, we'll see what is the return type of dash dot, dash dot values. Right, it will return a dash array. It is a type of array, dash array. Right, we will get a one by one value. Right, dash dot values. Right, what is the enum name? Dash. Dash dot values. We have a method called values. It will return the array. We will iterate one by one value, whatever we are passing the number, and then day dot day number. If it is equal, we are returning day dot name. Right. That means if you want to get, I am passing 3, I want to get the Wednesday. Right. Simple method, we have to create it. We can return the name of the week. Or if you want to get the number, it is very simple. Right. If you want to get the number, days dot Saturday dot day number. That is straightforward. But in reverse way, if you want to get it, simple method, and we have to use the for loop, and then in the reverse way we can. Right. Enums are right like this. We can create right complex things also. We can create like months also. Right, months also we can create like this. If you have, whenever you have your requirement is you want to maintain group of constants, then we will go for a enum const. Right. In enum we can also have a constructor. We can also create a constructor. Any number of arguments we can create, not only single. If you want to maintain 2 arguments, then we can create a 2 argument constructor. Right, then we should have a 2 argument constructor again. Right, otherwise it will not create 2 argument constructor. Right, based on our requirement, we can have it. Right, this is the about the right. If you want to maintain group of constants of similar type, then we will go for enums. Right, enums will have a multiple advantages. Right, if you want to maintain like this without using enum, it is very difficult. Right, if you want to maintain Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2, right, without using enum, this logic, if you want to get it, it is very difficult. Right, with enum, it is very easy, right, to apply this logic. Right, fine. So far, any questions? Right, in the previous topics also, if we have any questions, you can. From tomorrow onwards, we will start OOPS concept, a very, very important topic. Don't miss the classes. Right, we'll start with object-oriented programming. Right, fine. Today's is right. That's it, methods concept. Right. Just we have seen methods. Tomorrow we'll start with the first. Right. Oops concepts very important. Right. Please join regularly.